Hello everyone. So today we are going to work on how to control shooting at a given target, a single target from enemy characters. So that means for the player character, even no matter how many enemy characters are there, I will be able to change the maximum allowed number of characters who can shoot at the player at a given time. So based on the difficulty we can adjust the value. So for example, here this is the variable I'm going to implement. If I make this 1, at a given time only one character will be shooting at the player. Grenade throwing is independent from that. Now here you see only one character is shooting regardless of how many enemies are there in the screen. So this will give more chance for the player to fight multiple enemies. So this method would work for not just for players but for other NPC characters as well. This would be true because we are not designing this combat system just to fight the player. There could be other enemy characters as well. So if I increase this maximum allowed number to like 5, now you can see that number of enemies are shooting at me. See, so yeah, this is what we are going to work on today. How to adjust the number of enemies concurrently shoot at a given target. Right. So previously we implemented the method to prevent character getting overwhelmed by grenades, but still there is no limit that the number of characters who can shoot the player simultaneously. So even if the whole squad can shoot at the character in the same time. So let's implement something similar to allow only few characters to shoot at player so that player will not be overwhelmed. Right. So to do that, let's first go to our main behavior tree, and in the main behavior tree, in the shooting sub behavior tree, this is where the characters do the shooting. Let me open that, and yeah, this toggle fire we call it with true. So this is where we need the modification. So if I open this, so basically if we call this task with the true, no matter what, character is going to shoot at player. So they don't consider if the player is or target is overwhelmed or anything. They just keep shooting. So first, just like for other stuff that we control the access or control the permission to shoot or throw grenades, we need to have some function in our NPC Manager, something like this. Can I throw grenade? Similar to that, we need some function that tells if I can shoot or not. So yeah, let's add a function, can I shoot, and as an input we need the shoot target. So this should be in the type of factor. Shoot target. and as an output we need a boolean yes, no. Okay, so just like when we work with grenade throwing controlling, the NPC Manager need to have a memory of what are the characters that are currently being shot at, because we are not designing this system to only support enemy, only support player as the opponent character, only opponent of the AIs. There could be other AI driven characters who can be opponents of the AIs. So there is not just no single target, there can be multiple targets that they are shooting. So let's add a variable shooting at. This should be an actor, and also we need another. Let's convert this to a map, and the other type should be an integer. So the way I'm going to do this is in the first reference we will have some actor reference, and in this field we will have the number of characters who are currently targeting that particular actor. So that's the way I'm going to implement this. So when we get a shoot target to check if an AI character can shoot at him, we first need to check if this character is currently getting shot at. For that we can do a find of this shooting at variable. If we have a reference, that means this character is currently getting shot at. If the result is false, that means this character is currently not getting shot by any of the AI characters. So if this is false, that means we can definitely shoot this character. That means we should return true. And also we need to memorize this. To do that, we can get the shooting at, add this shoot target. This is same as dragging line from here. And the count should be 1. So this count means the actors currently targeting this given shoot target reference, the number of enemies that are currently targeting this shoot target reference, right? And if we do have a reference in this shooting at, that means currently this shoot target is being attacked by some other enemy as well. So in that case, what we need to consider is what's the current number of enemies this target is getting attacked. If that number of enemies are less than the maximum allowed number of characters that can simultaneously shoot a same target actor, in that case we can allow shooting one more actor. So is that clear? I hope you will understand when I do that. So if we have this gives the value, so we can check if this value is less than we need another parameter here. Maximum shooters allowed. So we can associate this number with the difficulty of the game. So at least this should be 1. Otherwise nobody will be shooting at any target. So as the difficulty increases, we can increase this number as well. For now I'll put 2 to make sure. No, let's test this with 1. No, maybe 2. Yeah. So maximum, only 2 characters will be shooting at the player at any given time. So if this condition is true, let's consider the other side. If this is less than or equal to maximum number. If this is true, we can't shoot. If this is false, we can shoot. So, but we have to update the number of shooters that this particular target is getting targeted by at the moment. So for that we can again how to update, set value. No, actually we can add the same shoot target again, so it will be overwritten. Oh no, it may not be overwritten. That's not the way maps are working. So how do we update the map? Yeah, it is possible to do it like this. Let me get some space. Again, from the shooting net, we can get keys and run a for each loop. And if this is equal, this particular element is equal to the can we run with break? Yeah. So this current element that we are looking at is equal to the given shoot target. That means this is the index that we need to update the value of. So from this again we can get the values. We break. Duplicate this, can get the values, and element, set array element. Index is this index, item is whatever the current item, current value plus 1. Get a copy from the same index and add 1 and set, and then break. break this node, break this loop, not node. Right, and after that we can return a true. Hope that part is clear. Yeah, another thing is we need to decrement this counter in after some time. Otherwise, none of the characters will be able to shoot again once the NPC Manager gives permission to shoot at a character. Wait, we forgot to add the branch here. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's add another event. The reason I make it as an event is because we need to have a delay. No. Decrement shooting at count. Oh, custom path. The name should be decrement shooting at. So here we should reduce the number of shooters currently targeting a given target, but for that we need a reference. Let's say an actor. Let's use the name, same name, shoot target. And I think for this decrement part as well, we can use the same update part we did here. Let's collapse this to a macro and call it update shoot targets. Right, then the only thing we need to, so if you need to decrement, instead of this is +1, this should be a -1. So let's pass this as a parameter. Let's call it delta. Or maybe change. People familiar with change more than delta. Right. Then after modifying the value, if this result becomes 0, that means none of the actors are currently targeting this character. That means we can completely remove that from this shooting at variable. So to do that, we need to know the current index. So let's promote this to a variable. Promote this current index that we found this element to a variable. Promote to variable. Target index, or the shoot target index. Right, and after modifying the array element, let's have another section which checks if that value is 0. So for that also we can use the same. Oh, actually we can use this. Wait, but I'm not sure if we are allowed to do remove elements from the array while we are in the for each loop. So therefore let's do that once this loop is finished. We have to have the same thing, get values, and get show target index, and if this is 0, that means we should remove that element. We don't need a reference of this target actor anymore in our shooting at map. If it is false, we can just simply exit without doing anything. If it is true, we can again get shooting at, remove, we need a reference to shoot target. Okay. Key need to be connected as show target here, and the change is 1 for this, but for this part, okay, now we need to remove this after a while, after a delay, because in shooting we keep shooting at the target for, like, let's see how long. Not much actually, so let's have like 4 seconds. And use this same macro, update shoot targets. This time change is -1. Shoot target key is this shoot target. Alright, okay, so that part is done. So now all we need is a way to consume this can I shoot function from the behavior tree task here. Here we already have a controlled pawn reference. So yeah, this is the shooting time, something in between 3 and 6, so 4 should be fine. I was referring to this. Okay, so let's set up a can I shoot interface function for the NPC character, because that matters only for the NPC. Here CLMB and NPC can I shoot. we'll put it under AI. Here also we need show target. Do we have the show target here? We don't, but we can get it. This should be an actor. And return type should be a boolean. Yes. No. Okay. Now let's implement this in the NPC. AI, can I shoot? So we already should have an NPC Manager reference, but we can use this macro. If we don't have an NPC Manager, not valid will be fired. That means the character should be independently able to decide. So in that case, character should shoot. If we do have a NPC Manager, then we can ask, can I shoot from the NPC Manager, so that we can do this in a more intelligent way. So there will be no overwhelming of a single target. Return whatever the return value we get here. Alright, now in this task we need to know the shoot target. That means in this blackboard, the target actor. So let's add another variable, target actor. Blackboard key. And let's get this get value as actor. So if this enable attack value is true, okay, we need to change this a bit. Let's have a branch. If this is true, if this is false, we don't have to worry about anything. We can just call this function with false. So we don't really need that. We can just use false. If this is true, we have to get reference from the phone. And can I shoot? We have to ask if we can shoot using this CLM BPI NPC, and as the shoot target we can use this. And we don't need a branch. We can again call this shoot for fire. function through CLM BPI character, and we have to use whatever the NPC character, whatever the NPC Manager tells us to do. And yeah, that's it. Did it work? Not sure. To test that, we can make this 0 so that none of the characters will be no, we can make this 1 actually, because even if it is 0, here we check if we if this target is in this array. If not, we simply just add it and return a true. So we don't really check this maximum shooters allowed index. We forgot one more thing here. Did we actually call this function anywhere? Decrement shooting at? No, we didn't. So we have to call it. In both cases. Decrement shooting at shoot target here. So maximum allowed index is 1. So now if this is working correctly, only 1 enemies will be shooting at us. Okay, he is shooting, 1 is grenading, that's fine. Now no one is shooting at me. I wonder why. Something should be wrong with this reset part, decrement part. Enough. So if I debug, the reason is, yeah, this is true. So the reference shoot target is found. Wait, we forgot to set the target actor. It's automatically set. I'm not sure. I don't remember setting that. So yeah, I'm debugging now. We do have one reference. So I wonder why this clearing part is not working. Show target index. If this value is 0, so definitely the problem is here. This decrement part is not working for some reason. Oh, I didn't know this. If your dictionary has the same way with add function, it overrides. If there is not, it adds. Right, then let's try that. Right, so what we need to do is not this. We only need to find the show target index. Let's delete this part. Right, let me delete this section also. So we need to have, oh wait, why shouldn't I collapse this section to a function so that we can have local variables? Yeah, let's collapse this to a function. Update short target values. Okay, so here we need to have a delta as well, or the change. Now wherever I have used this, we can use the function input pin should be short target change is here -1, here +1, it should target values, key change is +1, and that's it. Right, now we can get rid of this macro. So the reason I turn this into a macro is to have local variables. So instead of this global variable, we can have a local variable. That makes things simpler. Promote local variable. Right, now here branch, let's set this the default value of this to -1, and if this value is larger than -1, that means we have found this element, this shoot target, within this shooting at map. So that means we have to update. We can update. So again, get the shooting at map and get values. Sorry, values. This returns the values. And get reference using this shoot target index and add whatever the change, this change, and then again get the shoot at, add with the shoot target, updated value is the result of this. Okay, now we should add only if this result here is larger than 0. Otherwise we should completely remove that element. If this is larger than 0, we should add. That means the existing value of the shoot at map for this given shoot target will be overridden. If there was 1, it would be 2. So based depending on the value we add. If this is false, that means the shooting at this value is 0. That means we don't need this this shoot target inside this shooting at map anymore. So again, get the shooting at, remove the shoot target. I know this could be a bit confusing. But should work. Let's test. So in order to test, let's again change this to 1. Now only one of them should be shooting at me. Yeah, now this guy is shooting. In a while. So anyway, now 2 characters are shooting. Great, it is working. Okay, now let's try with maximum shooters allowed with 2. Okay, now 2 characters can shoot. Right, let's check with maximum shooters, something like 6. So everybody should be able to shoot at me without any limitation. Great, it is working. Yeah. And one more improvement we can do here would be if in here in this toggle fire task, if I get a false, I think there is no point waiting for 3 to 6 seconds. So let's promote this to a local variable, or just a variable. Yes, now do we need a variable? Maybe not. directly have a branch. If this is true, we can call this with the true and connect here. So this check would be redundant, but yeah, if this is false, we can directly connect it here. This would be much efficient. Let's see. Now everybody should be shooting at me. Yeah, that's okay. So let's again reduce this maximum shooters allowed to 1. So this time there should not be larger gaps in between the shootings. So yeah, so someone is always shooting. Oh, this guy had permission. Why 2 of them are shooting at me? That's a problem. Yeah, actually the problem is why more than 1 characters are shooting at me is because if someone got permission to shoot and character keeps shooting, because here we start shooting. Yeah, here we start shooting and we do stop shooting here. So maybe the reason is this 3 to 6 seconds. Oh, wait a minute. So if this is false, we do have to stop firing. Otherwise the characters will keep firing. Right? That's what happens. Right. That should be the reason. No, it should all be fine. Because what happens if one character is already shooting and this becomes false? That character may keep shooting. Not 100% sure, but let's test and see. Right, now I've been testing for some time and that it seems that problem is fixed. Now we can make sure that only 1 character is shooting at me at a given time. So once that character is no longer shooting at me, this guy is shooting. See? Great. So I can stop this episode right here. Oh, before that, shall we test one more time with maximum shooters allowed 2? Right, 2 of them are shooting. Okay, I think this is working. Maybe we should make them a bit more aggressive next time. Oh, another thing that we forgot. Now this, let's reduce this to like 2 seconds and see how their characters respond. That seems much better actually. Okay, so I'm gonna stop here, and thanks for watching. As always, project files will be available for the download in the Patreon page. Link would be in the description below, and in the future also let's try improving, let's add further improvements to this coordinated attacking of NPC characters. See you in another episode. Goodbye.